Thank you, friends, Shabbat Shalom, and greetings to you all. It's close to midnight. Something evil's lurking in the dark. Under the moonlight, you see a sight that almost stops your heart. You try to scream, but terror takes descent before you make it. You start to freeze as horror looks right between the eyes. You're paralyzed, cause this is thriller night. The great MJ and that fantastic scene at 13 going on 30. And now we're coming up on the non-Jewish Purim, Halloween. A day that suddenly has taken on and even supplanted Christmas as the most celebrated of holidays. I personally don't get it. It's not really like Purim, of course, which has incredible meaning behind it, but both have dressing up as another and eating and joyous celebrations going on. And Halloween certainly has way more candy. People love to deck their houses out. And you know, they don't just dress themselves up, but they dress their houses up, and they do it with all these scary things. Spiders, mummies, skeletons. Some of them are really fantastic. But I'll tell you what really scares me is the level of anti-Semitism occurring around the globe, and in such an acceptable fashion. In the early 90s, the great Nobel laureate released his second album of traditional songs, and he called it World Gone Wrong. And it certainly seems to be a world gone wrong. Feel bad this morning. Ain't got no home. No use in worrying, cause the world gone wrong. Can't be good no more, once like I did before. Can't be good because the world's gone wrong. Now that's not true. You can still be good in a world gone wrong. Do not get swept up in this horrid mob mentality of hate and anti-Semitism. There's a growing mob mentality dedicated to hate that must be resisted. We need to stop pretending it is not there. Synagogues are being firebombed and targeted all over the world. Open protests defending terrorism has become a cancer on society. Over 200 innocent civilians, men, women, children, not soldiers, are being held hostage in tunnels as a human shield. Who thinks this is all right? This is the cold-hearted act of pure terrorism, and the world must stop it, not condone it, and not support it. You know, for about an eighth of a second, much of the world felt for Israel, supported Israel, but now things seem to be returning to the so-called normal. Today, hatred of Israel is no different than hatred of Jews. Anti-Zionism is now anti-Semitism. There is a palpable fear spreading. You can stop it. If you are not worried, you should be. This is a world gone wrong. And even though it is, we still come together. We still gather. We come together as a group to honor and pray and observe as a community. Collective consciousness of seekers showing faith. Any and all faith together. Love any and all love. A true chavura, a fellowship. We express our nature of kindness. Compassion, thoughts, feelings, hopes, dreams, and wishes. It unites us all in this community house of spirit, Beth Ruach. Sharing and bringing light, keeping fear at bay. And even though together we are always individual in our approach, each connects in his or her their own way. So once again, go ahead, invite everybody, physically, digitally, psychically, emotionally, spiritually, to gather and share from Psalm 133, the Hine Matov. Come together. Hine Matov. Hine Matov. How good, how pleasant it is for brothers and sisters together. Community. we support each other in this community. So let's all spread love, goodwill, fellowship to the world. Remember, this is you, my friend, setting aside a little bit of sacred time in your sacred space to honor and converse with whatever you happen to believe in, because believe it or not, we all believe in something. It's a part of your Kavana, your intention that you put out to the universe. It's your goodwill. Goodwill and intention are the roots of what you control, of what you can change. Your intention sets in motion everything that occurs in your lives. So let's take some time now. Let's use that intention, some of that goodwill, some light healing out for whoever you know that needs it. Healing and renewal is for everyone. It just floats through space, finding those in need. So send it out. That's what a prayer is. Send it for those you know and for the souls and spirits of everyone you love. Think of whoever that needs healing and renewal and love, or just plain goodwill. Focus on them. Call their names, not just for people. It's for our pets. It's for the earth. It is the healing of the world. Tikkun olam. It's part of our spiritual genetic makeup. We have to help heal the world. It's an ongoing task to be well dealt with in this lifetime. It's for every lifetime. We must each do our part. As we change ourselves, we change our conditions of life, which changes everybody around us. And a part of the healing of the world is our sending these thoughts and energy for health and renewal and goodwill for everybody. You don't have to be sick. It's for those in your hearts and your minds. Let's all send energy out for the people in need everywhere. Special thoughts and prayers always for those in need of assistance, such as now, with heavy hearts and concern. We share the pain of those killed and still missing. We pray for those who need prayer. We don't have to know them. We want health, recovery, good life for everybody around us. For Frank, Pauline, for Gloria, Doria, for Gus, Ruth, for Johnny and Fern, for Maria and John, for Connie, Ronnie, for Luke and Dave, for Nina and Danny, for Tally, Ollie, for Ryan and David, for all those suffering and in need. Let's not forget to include the familiars of our lives, of our sacred animal friends, everywhere. Not just the ones that you have in your home, but everywhere. For everybody you know who's in need, for the whole world, for Devora. Let's pray for the release of the poor unfortunate hostages who did nothing wrong but be born Jewish. Friends, it is the kindness, the healing, wishes, goodwill, and love we all send out. It just circles the world finding those in need. So thank you, each of you, for all you do, for all you care. Because the world is a world of spirit, and spirit never dies. May the source of strength bless the ones for us. Help us find the courage. Make our lives a blessing. The renewal of body. The renewal of spirit. Then I say, Amen. Shberach, let us all have our spiritual root. This is the great prayer for healing, which we call upon God to heal as He has healed before. Me, Shberach, may He who blessed. Because all healing's a blessing. So let's all send and receive healing and renewal energy in our efforts to love, to share, to care, to grow. That may be hard to believe, but we're but a week or two from having read about the fall from grace, the great reminder of the exile from the garden. We would spend our lives striving to return to perfection. It's not striving to be perfect that produces transformation in us. It's not feeling powerful, dominating others that produces transformation. No, it comes from self-knowledge and awareness. These were the gifts that were given to us by the bite of the fruit of the tree in the middle of the garden. We can achieve that anytime we want. Now, Thomas Jefferson once wrote to James Madison, I prefer dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery. And this week we read about the beginning of the search for that freedom. And it is dangerous, and it ends in slavery that we're still fighting to free ourselves from. So we meet a family we will learn a lot about, the family of Abraham. And the world seems to be descending into a way of slavery again, which we must fight. Now, Abraham is seen as the first who fought for free choice, for free worship. As we follow this family through time, we see the descent from freedom to slavery, as we saw the descent of man from Eden. This week we read, lech, lecha, go. Now this is one of the most important readings in the Bible. I can say that every week. We've left the cosmic universe of creation and nation building and entered the realm of individual relationships. It's different. There's an introduction of a very important biblical concept that's coming up, and it's the double. And doubles are used for emphasis and for life-defining moments. And the title of this parsha is the beginning of it. It's lech, lecha. It's the same word used twice. So when it is for emphasis. Go, you go. It's instruction. It's not for discussion. It's an order. Now, last week we read the first story of faith. And faith will become something man has searched for eons. Noah accepted the word of God, built a big box, entered it, brought his family with him, let someone seal him in. And he rode the waves where the waves took him. There was no rudder, no steering, no personal control. Now that goes beyond obedience to faith. Now this time we read about someone who is obedient but not necessarily faithful. He hears and obeys the words of God, but he's constantly in control of his actions the whole time. And he schemes and he lies. That might not be faith. We might have accepted it now as faith, but it may not be faith. Last week we saw the first of God's 4 covenants with man, the Noahic covenant, with the rainbow as evidence. This week we're going to see the second covenant with man, the Abrahamic covenant, with circumcision as evidence. Very different. This is another jam-packed reading, beginning with God calling out to Abram, telling him to go. We see his journey to Egypt and what happens there, and that could alter the history we think in huge ways. We see his splitting from Lot, which is going to lead us to the Sodom and Gomorrah story next week. His encounter with a very special high priest of Elyon, the changing of his and his wife's name, and the birth of his first son, Ishmael, when he's like 80 or 90 years old. Now, we don't know a lot about Abraham, although we do consider him the father of Judaism and monotheism. But we know of no actual spiritual practice of Abraham, right? So to call him the first Jew seems strange because we don't know anything in practice. But we do know he was certainly not a follower of the Noahic laws. And we talked about that. And if you got there, embrace the relevance of oneness. Do not profane it. The value of human life cannot be measured. Therefore, do not murder. Do not eat flesh from a living animal. It contains the life force of blood. Respect other property. Do not steal. No incest, rape, or adultery, and ensure justice in the world. Now, in reality, not too many of the biblical characters we revere followed them all too well. But that doesn't mean you can't. You could. You should. They're easy. They're logical. They are built on decency and balance. Live by them. You cannot go wrong. So anyhow, we begin to focus on a family which we're going to follow for quite a bit of the entire book of Genesis. We meet Abram, who will become Abraham. He's working away in Mesopotamia, gets a message. Go. You go. Where? He doesn't know. Nobody tells him. We also see the stage set for the double name calling. We're going to see it again and again. Abraham, Abraham. Joseph, Joseph. Moses, Moses. In each instance, you will notice that the double name calling, followed by the simple, I am here, marks a life-defining moment. A little later, you're going to notice the concept of the double signifies something truthful, especially with the double dreams in the stories of Joseph and Pharaoh. Now, one of the great tools of time and scholarship, just look at the Talmud. Thousands and thousands of pages of commentary and interpretation of really what's a relatively small book. So one of those tools was Midrashim, which is stories of explanation. I love them. I love one of the Abraham ones and one of the Moses ones. There's thousands of them. Now, the fantastic one explaining Abraham being the first monotheist and founder of Judaism is one of the best. It's a tale right out of Mr. Peabody's Improbable History, and Peabody, Sherman, and you have all hopped in the Wayback Machine and set the date for approximately 1995, before the Common Era, 4,100 years ago. Dress carefully, because we can't be sure how much climate change has occurred in that time. Well, this tale comes from Midrashim Genesis Rabbah 38:13, and it also is an incredibly prominent story in the Quran. So the story goes, Abraham worked in his dad Terah's shop. It was a family business, like we will see with Jacob and his 12 sons. Terah was an idol manufacturer who once went away and left Abraham in charge of the store. So a man walks in and wants to buy an idol. Abraham asked him how old he was. The man said he's 50 years old. Abraham then said, "You're 50 years old and you would worship a day-old statue?" At this point, the man left ashamed. So a little later, a woman walks into the store and wants to make an offering to the idols. So Abraham took a stick, smashed the idols, and placed the stick in the hands of the largest idol. When Terah returned, he asked Abraham what happened to all the idols. Abraham told him that a woman came in to make an offering to the idols, and the idols argued about which ones should eat the offering first. Then the largest idol took the stick and smashed all the other idols. Well, Terah responded by saying, "They're only statues. They have no knowledge." Whereupon Abraham responded by saying, "You deny their knowledge, yet you worship them." From this, we now know that Abraham knew idols were not gods, and there was only one God. Now, in reality, friends, ancient man did not worship idols. The idols were simply representations of natural events, such as wind, rain, lightning. Now, people will tell you this particular Midrash story as if it were the gospel truth. Repeat anything enough, and it becomes true. Just look around at the world today. God then speaks up. Genesis 12:1, and the Lord said to Abram, "Go, you go, from your land, from your birthplace, from your father's house, to the land that I'll show you." Sometimes it ain't easy. Roll out of bed, shake the cobwebs hanging from your head. But you were born to be in the human race, and if you don't stop moving, you're gonna finish in last place. You gotta go, go, go. Go, cat, go, cat, go. Well, where's he to go? To the land that I'll show you. Somewhere over the rainbow. When we think of him working in his dad's shop, we think of him as a youth. But he's 70 years old. He hears a voice, packs up, and leaves. For who knows where. Does this sound normal? Now, every one of you have had those lech, lecha moments in life. Go. Sometimes you listen. Sometimes you don't. He must leave his homeland without knowing for what he's giving it up. Now, this pattern will be repeated when he's commanded to sacrifice Isaac. When God says, "Take your son, your only one whom you love, Isaac." And where is he to sacrifice him? On one of the mountains that I'll say to you. You know what, friends? We tend to be driven by one or two forces in life. We either take steps to go to something, or we take steps to get away from something. And those who are motivated more by leaving often do not know where they are going in life. This is a story of obedience and faith. When you have faith in God, you too will listen to the voice that tells you, go. Yes, the world is sacred. So is everything in it. Express your gratitude, light a candle, make a wish. Celebrate your life. The lives of those you love, share feelings with them. Live free, be free, honor your freedom, be well, be happy, be blessed. Share and honor the light, and all who live in the light and continue to shine. Continue to send everybody you know goodwill and love. Pray for peace, freedom for everyone, an end to terror and hatred. Remember, we're a community. We learn together, we celebrate each other, we love each other, we share this ride together, men and women equally. Let's send out love, not fear. Send out peace, harmony, goodwill, and healing to all who need it. And please do learn to forgive, learn to love. Open your hearts. Honor the relationships of your life and tell those you love that you love them. Examine your intentions. Use them to imprint your will on the universe, because we set in motion all that happens in our lives. It's our intention, our kavana. It's our cause, our effect. Everything is linked. You have time to forgive and be forgiven. You have the knowledge of what's good and bad. So acknowledge what you've done wrong to yourself, to God, to any person you've wronged. Ask forgiveness. But do so with sincerity, accountability, and vulnerability. Forgive those who've hurt you, as you learn to be forgiving and compassionate, because the secret of forgiveness, compassion, and peace is in acceptance. Can you accept yourself, other people, the world, just as they are? Can you accept life as it is without trying to control it? Because if you do, you can experience the peace that acceptance brings. So keep on dreaming. Keep on being, keep sharing, keep shining, keep teaching. Keep spreading joy and goodwill. Do not follow fear, follow love. Love is always in front of you. And remember to faith, just as I have faith in the principle of love and of all of you. Act with purity of heart and mind. Despise not, defraud not, hate not. Cherish all. Honor every child of God, every creature of the earth, because we're all the same. May all people know peace in the air. May you nurture kindness and love everywhere you go. Work to be present in the body. Expand your heart. Quiet the mind. Because the deepest source of real power, it lies in your consciousness, in your ability to be mindful, to be aware, to be present in all of life's circumstances. You are forever blessed. And you have the ability to bring blessings to everybody you meet. Health, love, and renewal to everybody you come across. We're all energy, and energy cannot be destroyed. It can only be transformed. Your words are your power to transform, to love, to bless. So be generous. Bless others. Bless yourself. Love with the heart, because we're all part of a greater whole. Embrace love, not fear, forgiveness, not anger. Be there for someone, because someone will always be there for you, whether you know it or not. Continue to explore faith and belief, and never accept shame as a natural state. Whatever you feel, others have felt. Whatever you've experienced, others have too. We share together. We learn together. We help each other. Because we're each of us simply trying to find love and acceptance and support in life. We all have or could have a special someone in our lives. So find them and tell them what they mean. Keep forgiving those you need to forgive, and keep asking forgiveness from those you need to ask forgiveness of. And listen to the voice of God as he, she, it, whatever pronoun it is, talks to you and tells you where to go. And take some time and enjoy Halloween with your kids this week. I was working in the lab late one night when my eyes beat up, and here he sang, from a monster from his slab began to rise, and suddenly, to my surprise, he did the mash, did the monster dash, the monster dash. It was a graveyard smash. He did the mash, he caught on in a flash. He did the mash, he did the monster mash. We love monsters, candy, scary things, but only when we know it's not real. This time, my friends, the monsters and scary things are real. Be careful. Thank you for joining me. Celebrate freedom and love. The world know that you walk in faith and in trust. Shabbat shalom and blessings to you all. Take care.